We're now recording, Chairman. Thank you, Tom. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Pensions Committee meeting. Housekeeping, mobiles, please, silent, if nothing else. And as far as fire alarm is concerned, we're not expecting any. So if one does go off, then leave through that door and out through the main door on your right-hand side, and get yourselves together in the car park, and we'll sort that out. I'd like to welcome Mr. Tim Grigg, who is a member of the public. Good morning, Mr. Grigg. It's nice to know that someone listens in to our meetings online. We were never sure. But Mr. Grigg is here for the first part, the first agenda item, and then we'll be leaving us, obviously, for the rest of the meeting. Just a matter of interest, Mr. Grigg, I'll just go around the table and introduce everybody rather than them introduce themselves, make it easier. I'm Councillor Eddie Strengle, I'm chairman of the committee. Councillor Peter Coupland is vice chairman of the committee. And then as far as members of the committee, we've got Councillor Tom Smith, Councillor Paul Key, Councillor Alan Briggs, Councillor Stephen Bunny, Mrs. Jo Bolchin, and Mr. Steve Larter. We've also got Roger Buttery and David Vickers, who are members of the pension board, who oversee the pensions committee and make sure that we're not doing anything wrong, or they'll whip us. And we've also got Ian Campbell and Amy Sutherland from Hymans Robertson in attendance. And then around this table, we've got Joe, head of pensions, Michelle Grady from the assistant director of finance. We've got Claire Michelle, who is the accounting, investment and government management, and Tom Croft, democratic services officer. So that's the makeup of this at the moment. So welcome again. Tom, apologies for absence.
Yes, we've apologies from Tom Popchin and
Thank you, Tom. Item 2, declarations of members' interest. Around the room, those that have a declaration of interest, please raise your hand and I'll take you through in time. Steve Larter.
Chairman, I declare an interest as an active and deferred member of the pension fund.
Thank you, Steve. Joe. Okay. Paul.
As a member of the linkage pension, I draw on.
You draw down on the
my pension. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other declarations of interest? Okay, if you find there is one during the meeting, then please raise it at that point. So. Very important.
Most important thing going.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, raise it at that point and you can discuss it then. So if we move then to item 3, which is the minutes of the previous meeting held on the 21st of March 2024. These are pages 5 to 10 on your agenda. You'll all have read them as members. Yes, Paul?
Could just say, Chair, through you, thank you. So that last meeting, I obviously wasn't here in very well minutes, and I see that I obviously missed declaring that I was a member of the pension, or drawing on the pension. Is that too late to put right now? Or?
No, we'll put that in the amendment
okay. Well,
to the minutes, which is bringing me on to what I was going to say next anyway. So are there any matters arising from the minutes? If not, can I have a proposer, Stephen Bunny, and a seconder, please, Alan Briggs? All those in favour that the minutes are a true record of our meeting with the exception of the amendment. Thank you very much. Moving on then to item 4, which is a responsible investment update report. I'll hand over to Claire for this one. Claire.
Thank you, Chairman. This report brings to the committee details of the fund's responsible investment activities during the third quarter of 23-24. It is a recommendation that the committee considers the report and discuss responsible investment activity undertaken during the quarter. Information on the engagement and rating activities from NAP, Border to Coast, Robeco and Legal and General Investment Management are included within the report. Section 6 is a new addition to the report and provides an update from Morgan Stanley on their responsible investment activity on our private markets portfolio during the year 2023. Representatives from Morgan Stanley will attend the committee meeting in September and will explain more about the portfolio, its performance, as well as its RI activity. Section 9 reports the outcomes of the fund stewardship submission for 22-23. If you remember, we were one of the first local authority pension funds to become a signatory to the Stewardship Code when it first changed in 2021, and we've maintained this for the 3rd year running. That was all I planned to say on the report, but I'm very happy to take any questions.
Any questions, committee? Any comments? No, none seen. Yeah. Before I move to the recommendations, which is basically to accept the report, we haven't discussed it, you've all read it, and obviously haven't found any issues with it. I'll just bring in one point, which is not on the agenda. At our last committee meeting, Councillor Tom Smith asked a question to me to ask Border to Coast. Now, you would have seen on your emails this morning the response from Border to Coast on that issue. And I think it was fairly comprehensive, their answer to that. So I'll just ask you at this point, especially you, Tom, whether you're happy with the response from Border to Coast, remembering at the next Border to Coast, the chairman will go back again and follow up if necessary, or ask any other questions of Border to Coast.
From my perspective, Chairman, I'm very happy. It was a very full answer, and given that it's still in the committee stage in the Lords, it's certainly not the final entity that we're going to see. So there's a lot that could move since then, but no, I'm very happy with the answer. Thank you.
Absolutely right, John. Any other comments or questions? No? Well, thank you for that. Roger, did you see that response?
I've not seen it yet, actually.
You've got your meeting this afternoon, haven't you?
No.
Wrong. I'm so used to you having it straight after out. The one time I say it's not. Okay, I'll read you over on anyway. Michelle, anything else to add?
No.
Well, the recommendation was to consider the report, discuss the RI activity undertaken during the quarter, but you all seem happy with the report itself and haven't asked any questions on it. So unless anyone dissents, then we'll accept it as approved, the report that is. Okay? That is carried. Okay. So at this point, we move on to item 5, which is the consideration of exempt information. I shall read it out. In accordance with section 100A(4) of the Local Government Act 1972, the following agenda items have not been circulated to the press and public on the grounds that they are considered to contain exempt information as defined in paragraph 3 of part 1 of schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972 as amended. The press and public may be excluded from the meeting for the consideration of these items of business. At that point, Mr. Grigg, I'm going to have to bid you farewell. I know it's short and sweet, and unfortunately, the public or the press are not allowed to ask any questions. So if you want to get back in touch with me or indeed Joe, well, we'll be speaking to you anyway after the meeting. But yeah, fine. So thank you for attending. You're very welcome to attend. Then these meetings are not normally as short as that from you, quite honestly. This is a rather different one. The exclusion of the press and public sometimes doesn't happen until the last agenda item. But because all the other items are under the exclusion, we can't ask you to stay. I'm sorry, but we'll see you later on anyway. Robert, you're looking after Josh, sorry. Okay, thanks very much. See you later. Okay. Happy?